that. Yes. Yes. Thank
I
you.
fucking hate not being told I'm good enough. Excuse my language. I am so sorry. I will clean this up very quickly. I have not been around people in a while. I apologize.
No,
But oh
like
my
you said,
gosh.
I know you don't like hearing people tell you that you're not good enough. It can
Or
be very
you're good
discouraging.
enough, even you're good enough or not good enough.
Hmm.
Either form of it I feel is frightening,
Yeah.
like judgmental.
Yeah, and that's when we truly have to depend on God more and seek him more to find that strength to overcome that that anger when or that
That
anger
meeting idea again.
that
Let me see
hate
what.
when we come
What's
across
that meeting
people like that.
idea again? Let's see what happens.
Oh Lord.
Pardon?
I know what you're trying to do, Claudie. I'm trying to do
Hold
something
on.
too.
My grandma. But like I was saying, that's when we should truly, like, in those times where we do start to hate or be angry at those people that make us feel as if we're not enough, or they make us, like you said, they make us feel like we're more than enough, or what they make us feel like we're what you were basically what you were saying. I feel like during those times we have to seek God more to find the strength and to find the peace and comfort from that situation, not to hate those people, not to get angry at all the time, and just to be peaceful and to know that God is with us and that we are more than enough in the eyes of God. And because the strength and the power that's within us, that makes us more than enough, especially with we're more than enough anyways, because with Christ dying on the cross. And that from that point on, that made us whole, that made us who we are, and that gave us the strength to be who we are through Christ. And I'm glad that you said that, because that is true. Because I can, everybody I know, like, that can get you very angry, that can make you start to resent or hate people, especially when they make you feel less of yourself. And that's why we definitely have to seek God more in those situations, because only his peace and his wisdom and everything that he gives us can allow us to overcome situations like that.
I'm thinking more along the lines of people that are perfectionists like you or I, like people who've like got some pressures on them and are already put on this like pedestal that you don't need to put me on because I am still just a person, or we are people.
Mm-hmm.
Like to be saying this is good enough, this is what's expected of you, even though you're always going to be doing your best, even if you're doing your work the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And I just keep thinking that, like, I don't know. My question for you is, I think, I mean, or is it hearing it from someone else or hearing it from yourself? That's when I heard it, and I was just like, am I good enough or not good enough? Like internally is what
Like when
gets
you start,
me.
how you think about yourself, basically, is that what you're saying?
Versus how, I mean, I could give a shit what someone else thinks about me. Honestly, I have that. Excuse me. I could care less what someone else has to say, positive or negative about me, because they don't know me.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do know me, then I'll maybe take them seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But when that becomes something that you can easily internalize, that's when it becomes dangerous.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. It's That's a key thing. How you think about yourself is a key thing, part of it that plays a major role in everything. It's important that you do think good about yourself, and you don't think of yourself in this insecure or just self-doubting way, you definitely have to I would say that's when me personally, I have to seek God more for confidence in myself, and I have to seek God for just courage, and just the courage to overcome those insecurities and those doubts that I give myself, that self-hate, and just replace it with self-love. I got 2 hands raised. 3. I think Jojo was first. You can go in and speak.
So besides praying, besides listening to the gospel, what are other ways to stay encouraged or stay self-improving or yourself, self-help basically?
I would say community, fellowshipping with other people. That was a key thing that helped me. Not just because you can't just do it on your own. And God didn't put us on this earth to do it by ourselves. It's a reason that we're all here and we're all believers. And I feel like it's more power in numbers. And with us together through fellowshipping with each other and having each other's backs and picking up where other people are weak and just helping them in areas where they're weak. Because all of us can help each other in different ways. Because one may be weak in this area and one may be strong in this area, and we can help each other in those ways because of my strength I can help you with your weaknesses, and because of your strength you can help me with my weaknesses.
One thing that I think is interesting also is like, as a person who studies nature for a profession, I was going to be a doctor, then got my leg cut off and said I hate hospitals, and found a lot of healing in nature. So I think that there's a lot of things that go with like body dysmorphia, body unhappiness, and a lot of different things like that. That I mean, for me, it's pretty blatant. It's pretty much there. It's like, oh, this person has one leg.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't hide it or whatever. I don't. But the hardest thing is that I keep running into is like this endurance. That the question being like, how do you do that? It's like, man, I didn't. There was a time where I really didn't know how I was going to do anything, but I did know this. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't know what I wanted to talk about. I didn't feel comfortable, but I felt comfortable talking. This is gonna sound even crazier, to God by myself in the middle of nowhere. And I became a professional ecologist at that point. I mean, because I had to. I mean, that was my healing. Was doing that job. And it's amazing, but it's to observe nature is to just connect with nature, to realize that, wow, how awesome we're part of this is all.
Man,
I'm
great.
getting that.
Man, that is great.
But I don't, when it comes to the prescription for, I mean, there's so many different kinds of meditations that worked for me and knocked me out, and then so it just, I guess what I'm saying is, what would you do if you didn't have to tell anyone and you could just do something to make you happy? And you didn't have to answer to anyone about it. And that's kind of how I did it.
Yeah, that's definitely a way. That's why I put on that one slide where I said things that bring peace, and it can be things that encourage you. And basically what Mr. Andrew is saying, like him going in nature and just gazing upon God's creation helps him heal in different ways. And that's another way. And that's what I put on there, taking time out to view nature, because God's creation is so amazing. And it can truly bring peace and happiness to your soul. That's what it does for me. And I know it does for Mr. Andrew. And Miss Tamara, you have something to say?
Yes, I think it was one person in front of me though. Was it somebody else had their hand up?
I think it was Michael.
I
Oh
need
yeah,
to.
I just wanted to say
Okay.
that I wanted to add to that when she was talking about what else you can do. What I do is I like to write a lot. And like what I do is when I mess up, I don't erase, I just cross it out just to show myself that I'm not perfect. That's
Yeah,
I like.
normally what I do.
yeah. I actually took on that point that he said, where he says he doesn't cross out where he messes up on the paper. He doesn't like scratch it out all the way. He just puts a line through it so he can still see that. Just basically show that he's not a perfect person. He's imperfectly perfect. And that he does make mistakes, and that it's okay to make mistakes, you know? So Miss Tamara, you have something to say as well?
Yes, I was just gonna say, we all have to remember, that we are beautifully and wonderfully made, that God created us in his image, and said, let us make man in our image. And that I think we forget that sometimes. We look at social media or we look at others and we compare ourselves to what other people are doing. And we don't realize that, they may be doing it for them. They may be doing it for wealth. They may be doing it for attention. They may be doing whatever it is, you know. But when you know that you're beautifully and wonderfully made, when you realize that you were made in God's image, when you really realize again this world is going to catch on fire and will be no more, then you begin to understand something different. You begin to look at things different. When you see people and they have certain things, you say, okay, good. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't have that, because if God wants you to have it and he has given you the ability to have it, you will. Wow. Now, if you're not using your abilities, if you're not using your talents, then okay, begin to use them. You have them and God will be there for you. But if you don't have that, it is okay. Like we have to stop comparing ourselves to other people. I'm okay, in my little house that I have with my two little girls that I have, with my husband that I have. I'm okay with that. I'm an educator. I'm okay with that. I don't have to have everything else. And I can tell you that when I started looking at other people and comparing myself to other people was when I started to have issues in my life. And my girls are sitting right here, so I'm trying to be real discreet with this. But there were times when, I was about to check myself out, if you understand what I'm saying, and it was because I felt like, well, no one cares whether, there's a Tamara or not, and, or, oh, I can't get this, I can't get that. Every time I try to do something, it fails. And you can get stuck in that pit hole. And it's a dangerous pit hole where you just become numb, where nothing really matters, where you're just like, you know what, whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's a beautiful thing when you finally wake up and come to yourself. How many people we know in the Bible where it talked about they came to themselves? We were just talking about Samson the other night. He had this woman, and this woman was trying to find out why he was so strong, and he just wanted to be with that woman so bad, and that woman just was not for him. But he continued to be with her, until he finally told her where he got his strength from. And what happened? He ended up dying because of it, but he couldn't let it go. He was so powerful. Yeah, I deserve a nice woman, right? I'm powerful. I got this and I got that. Don't I deserve this too? Maybe that's not for us. And there's a lot of times we get into those situations and we think that we're supposed to have everything. And what we're supposed to have is what God allows for us to have. What we're supposed to have is what God has put into us. And now I can look at people with all the nice things that they have, or the nice relationships, or the nice whatever, and I can say, okay, good, but I'm thankful for what I have. Yes. And again, this world will catch on fire. So I'm not building up to live here on earth. I'm building up to go to heaven.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to